And at a time when a lot of malls are closing, a North Texas mainstay is getting a new breath of life.
Damon Fernandez shows us the new vision for RedBird.
RedBird Mall.
50 years ago, in the heart of southern Dallas County, the Bartlow family unveiled a bold vision, RedBird Mall, the city's first enclosed shopping center south of the Trinity. Its red carpeted courtrooms hosted fashion shows. Its storefronts sparked with prestige, Rolex, Dillard's, Sanger Harris even. In the voices you're about to hear, you'll find echoes of Sunday strolls, laughter from movie dates, and the rhythm of a community that found its heartbeat right here at RedBird.
It was a vibrant shopping center.
They had some of the most prestigious stores that you would want.
RedBird was like the place to be. Like if you wanted the hottest gear, if you wanted the hottest shoes.
I mean, you could buy a Rolex out here. I mean, a real Rolex on top of that.
You could get your picks, you could get your tennis shoes, you could get your bell-bottom pants. You no longer had to order that stuff in some magazine. You could go to RedBird and get it done.
And for a generation, it was more than a mall. It was a gathering place, a place to be seen, to fall in love, to make memories.
If you're gonna hang out, this is where you go to hang out at.
This is where you got your girlfriend. You took your girlfriend to the mall.
The fellas are gonna be in the building.
Everybody else had a love story at RedBird.
I met a guy that was walking in the mall. He kept looking at this lady walking every day. And he said, well, tomorrow I'm gonna say something to her. He said, can I walk with you? She said, yes, you can walk with me. They got to the point where they got married.
This was our home.
It was a gathering point for the community.
This was our Mecca.
And we would have our domino tournament here.
Royce West can't play dominoes. He's a great state senator. He is a legend in this community, but he can't play dominoes.
And I'm gonna tell you like it is and like it is.
You don't get to hear what you hear within you.
They are trying to diminish and weaken the power that we have.
Think about all the churches that are around here. You got Concord, you got Friendship West, Ibot, Antioch. And then the Potter's House is only 2.5 miles away. You got all these churches surrounding RedBird.
The Black church has always had social causes attached to the work that we do. We never had the luxury to be able to not address the social issues in our community.
Because they just didn't do ministry. They were involved in politics, they were involved in economics, they were community driven.
I just have always believed that faith has to impact the community.
So the churches were a big reason that I think RedBird was successful.
In the shadow of those golden years, change was coming. The white flight of the late 70s and 80s reshaped neighborhoods.
You had segregation, the civil rights movement in the 60s, but in the late 60s, early 70s, now things are starting to go toward integration. Now you've got neighborhoods that were being desegregated.
A Black, middle class, upper class neighborhood developed around this RedBird area.
At that time, it was more about white flight. The real estate agents were putting the fear of God in the white homeowner.
They started moving to the suburb. Then you see the money was going to the suburb. When I first went back over to Carter, it was all white. Community in Oak Cliff was turning completely black.
As Black people started moving into this section of town, we came on around to the Carter area. The migration just took over area by area by area.
Economic investment drifted to the suburbs. Perceptions began to shift, fueled by headlines, politics, and even the growing pains of a changing city. Incidents near the mall, from high-profile controversies to rising crime, cast long shadows.
Carter Cowboys are doing offensively.
I coached at Carter 1971.
Carter, by all accounts, was a class team, not only here in Dallas, but in the country. And a lot of people said the Carter Cowboys were better than the Dallas Cowboys.
We had a monster of a team. Nobody could beat Carter High School at that time.
Then all of a sudden we get news of these robberies that were occurring. The community was frankly brokenhearted.
And parents at that time didn't want to send their kids to college because they thought everybody was bad.
People said, we just don't want to go to school with those people. I'm getting out of this community as soon as I can.
This mall was full of Carter kids. Those kids started arguing, they were like that, most likely they started fighting.
Customers stayed away, and one by one, the anchor stores left. What was once a mecca of culture and commerce now fought against a reputation it could not easily shake.
You end up having some kids coming in talking loud, using profanity and things of that nature that frankly drove away customers.
It was just a perception that the mall had really fallen off.
The more the black middle class grew, we had kind of run out of places to buy, the types of homes that we wanted to.
African Americans who had the means decided to move to the suburbs.
That developers started developing Cedar Hill, Duncanville, and DeSoto. Then you start seeing the declining of the mall.
There was a period when it was called Southwest Center Mall.
I started in radio in the early 2000s, and that was around the time that the branding at RedBird changed.
The name change from RedBird Mall to Southwest Center Mall, to me, is one of the greatest marketing flubs.
It felt like the soul had been kind of pulled out of the mall for some time. But we started going to other places at that point.
Yet even in decline, RedBird was never abandoned by its people. Community leaders, pastors, business owners, and champions like Edna Pemberton, Miss P, stood in the gap. They stopped power from being cut, fought for city support, and demanded the mall's story not end in silence.
But there's a young lady in our community, a member of our church, by the name of Miss Edna Pemberton.
Miss Pemberton fought till she died to save RedBird Mall.
The Rock, she kept the glue going.
She may have lost her sight, but she never lost her vision.
If there was a need, if there was work to be done, if there was a crisis, Miss P was going to be at the helm helping us to organize things.
Edna Pemberton held it up.
She is a community hero. And this is just who she has always been. RedBird Mall became kind of her project, her pet project.
It took people many, many years to find out why was the mall really declining. Why were people moving out? This study was showed out. Should we do two things? Should we keep the mall, or should we tear it down?
And I went to the meeting, I told them all they need to do is bulldoze it down.
What the Early Institute told us, you should not tear it down. You should rebuild it.
When new visionaries stepped in, they brought more than capital, they brought belief.
Here's a guy who want to invest into this mall.
Peter took a chance when nobody else would.
My name is Peter Brodsky, and I'm the CEO and co-developer of the shops at RedBird. I really saw so much potential in this community and so much potential in this property that I couldn't resist.
When Peter Brodsky makes this decision, he began to share with me the plan, and I almost had tears in my eyes because I said local ownership, local control is really what we need.
When I first bought RedBird, everybody said to me, "Oh, have you met Terrence yet? Have you met Terrence yet? Have you met Terrence yet?" I'm like, I got to meet this guy, Terrence. Who's Terrence?
Partnership with Terrence, who is from the community, understands the community, has been in development. This is what we've been praying for.
I'm the co-developer of Shops at RedBird with Peter Brodsky, and been involved with this redevelopment for about a decade now, and we're living it out.
Terrence was willing to run up against and ultimately through the brick walls necessary to make this thing work.
I think what we were successful at doing is create new anchors for the community. One that I think has more sustainability.
It also helps us prioritize what we feel is most important for our community.
While this is a for-profit investment, and both Terrence and I and all of our investors are looking to make a return, there are faster ways to make money. You have to convince people that this is worth investing in. You have to convince banks that this is worth lending to. And you have to convince retailers and businesses that this is an area that will support their businesses financially.
I think having education here, having access to healthcare, we're thinking about the wholeness of the people
We have more than just places to shop and buy clothes. You can build your business here.
You can see the people lining up for coffee.
Starbucks is ranked tops in the country, and people didn't think that Black people could afford a cup of coffee.
There's an apartment complex. It always has a waiting list.
You've got the Oak Cliff Chamber of Commerce.
You can see the people going to UT Southwestern to get first-class medical care, getting trained at Dallas College. Businesses like Breakfast Brothers start at RedBird and grow into an ever-expanding business.
When you go into a community like RedBird, then figure out ways to creatively solve problems and challenges in that area. What we discovered as a company is more profitable in the long run, not only financially, but also for me, spiritually and emotionally. You could go home and know that your work is also making an impact.
That reimagining kind of hooked me, because that's exactly what we did. We reimagined it, and here we are.
The 50th anniversary is such a huge milestone.
So when you celebrate 50 years, we have to bring the community back out and say, if you were here 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, come back home.
This will be the very spot where everybody wants to be, where they want to learn, they can go to worship, they can impact, they can build community and connections. This will be the spot.